These are the top 10 best TV shows of all time. Number 5, The Walking Dead. I am very new to the zombie genre, so I don't have that much to compare it to. But The Walking Dead is one of those shows that immediately gets you hooked. In the first 5 minutes they're introduced, you're already invested in the characters enough to want to see what happens to them next. Every actor gives a great, believable performance. Even if they're only in one episode, you remember them. I will admit, I like this show better in the early seasons than the later seasons. I just thought it was much more realistic in the earlier seasons before it became the MCU of zombies. But for the most part, this show gets you invested in its poetic writing and multi layered characters. Number 4, The Twilight Zone. The beauty of The Twilight Zone is that it's a bunch of short movies. Each episode can tell a 30-minute story without feeling rushed. Not only that, but they can develop these interesting characters and concepts in such a smart way in only 30 minutes. These episodes get you hooked from beginning to end in their mysterious story and tone. Every character, every storyline could be made into a 1 hour and 30-minute movie and be considered a classic. It may have came out years ago, but it'll stand the test of time for years to come. Number 3, The Simpsons. How can I make this list without talking about The Simpsons? I technically grew up on The Simpsons. It's gonna be hard to talk about this show because really it's just perfect. There's barely anything wrong with it aside in the later seasons. The characters are memorable and hilarious in their own ways. The episodes are wildly entertaining, and the animation style was unique. When the show wanted to be sad, it could be sad. If the show wanted to be satisfying, it could be really satisfying. Yes, you can say this show should have ended years ago, and 33 seasons is a lot, but that just shows how timeless The Simpsons is. Number 2, The Office. This was a series that got me through 2020. It's probably the second funniest TV show I've ever seen in my life. But most of all, it's relatable. These feel like real people you would know and situations you've been through. The best part of the show has to be Steve Carell as Michael Scott. Somehow the show can make this jerk who insults everyone and make him sympathetic and easy to root for. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. Okay, now before I get to my number 1 favorite TV show of all time, there are some people who hate this show. There's a lot of people who like it, but there's also a lot of people who just find it stupid. I know how the internet works, so just hear me out before you go into the comments and say God knows what. Just hear me out before you do that. Wish me luck. You'll be sorry! So without further ado, my number 1 favorite TV show of all time is South Park. There's a lot of people who look at this show and say, oh yeah, that's just a bunch of crude humor. But when you watch through the entire episode from beginning to end and actually look at what the writers are saying, this show is brilliant. It would take a video after video after video to talk about how hilarious and genius the show is. Every episode has a great message to it. Every joke is commentary on what is normally not talked about on TV.
You don't see anything wrong with that flyer?
Yeah, what about the baseball team, the Cleveland Indians, huh? Should they change their name because it's racist?
Yeah.
No, because it's their history.
Yeah, that must be it. The tobacco companies with their millions of dollars and their slick desks and fancy buildings, they're the ones making children want to smoke. Welcome to the cable access televised debate between a giant douche and a turd sandwich. Please, if you care at all about the future of our country, vote for her, okay? She's the one who at least has some experience. She's not as bad as you think.
My opponent is a liar and he cannot be trusted.
South Park is a show that stood the test of time by staying relevant. When 9/11 happened, South Park was quick to respond. When COVID happened, they pulled no punches. Whenever something bad and big happens in the world, South Park makes fun of it with respect and honesty. So say what you want about it, it's stupid, it's crude, it's crap, but to me, it's the best TV show of all time. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and click the bell, and have a great day.